to the God's honest truth. Tonight, we're putting the FBI under investigation for doing what it was designed to do: protect white supremacy and police everyone else. Recently, the current FBI director, Christopher A. Wray, said that he wants to put an end to the bullshit. So where should he start? Well, as my therapist says, let's unpack this. Ray, you can start by taking that racist, bigoted prick's name off the front of your headquarters. That's right. You know who I'm talking about, J. Edgar Hoover, okay? Because you shouldn't be celebrated for being the HNKIC, head nigga killer in charge, okay? If you're not that familiar with this dude's game profile, then let me catch you up to speed. His fighting style included blackmail espionage, okay, blackmail assassination, and good old blackmail. He was one of the FBI's founders and the borough's director from 1935 to 1972. During his reign, he implemented several devastating discriminatory initiatives, including but not limited to the counterintelligence program, better known as COINTELPRO, which was a series of illegal projects that encouraged government officials to infiltrate and dismantle many a civil rights movement. This allegedly half-black man weaponized the FBI to spy on and stalk many prominent African Americans because, in his words, he wanted to stop the rise of a black messiah. Sidebar, if y'all are afraid of a black messiah, boy, y'all in for a rude awakening when Jesus comes back, okay? In 1920, Hoover went primetime when he deported black shipping icon Marcus Black Star Garvey, seen here looking like the real-life king of Wakanda. Garvey made Hoover's shit list when he dared to ship products from black businesses to black people. Hoover even sabotaged Garvey's steamship corporation, the Black Star Line, which is what NASA would have been called if they let Mos Def and Talib Kweli run it, okay? Oh, y'all hip-hop, that's good. He even directed his operatives to, get this, throw junk in the fuel tanks of Marcus Garvey's ships. But somehow, racist white supremacists have convinced themselves that we're the savages, okay? Sadly, Marcus Garvey would become the prototype for how Hoover decapitated black leadership and black progress in America. So after almost 40 years of undermining black activists and community organizers and having so many black leaders' blood on his hands, why the hell is his name still on the FBI building? Probably because his ideologies are still in the building. And don't tell me it's because he was their first director. If this country cared about the people who were first, we wouldn't have 600,000 Native Americans living on a shared 40 acres of land, okay? Shit. If America cared about first, then Soulja Boy would be a lock for everybody's top 5, okay? Now, J. Edgar Hoover allegedly, and I gotta say allegedly for legal purposes, also had a bunch of black American patriots killed. The Washington Post reported that the family of Malcolm X supposedly received a letter back in 2011 from a dying NYPD officer named Raymond A. Wood, who admits in great detail that the FBI, along with the NYPD, were complicit in the assassination of Brother Malcolm. The FBI also surveilled and harassed Dr. Martin Luther King. They sent an anonymous letter encouraging King to kill himself or have his affairs leaked to the public.
So what? He had hoes.
I mean, that's one way to put it. The FBI even sent out a memo saying it's clear that MLK is the most dangerous Negro in America, and we have to use every resource to destroy him. And we all know how that turned out. Black Panthers Bunchy Carter and John Huggins were reportedly killed by an FBI gaslit civilian, Claude Hubert. Following the killings, FBI agents openly bragged in a memo about influencing their deaths like they were young street rappers. That's right, FBI agents bragged about smoking on that Carter and Huggins pack. And of course, y'all shouldn't laugh at that. And of course, there's Chairman Fred Hampton and Mark Clark. These 21 and 22-year-old Black Panther leaders were gunned down in an FBI-coordinated raid while they were sleeping. Hoover, like most white supremacists, had a damn allergic reaction to black equality, which kept him constantly stamping out black progress like it was one long game of whack-a-nigga. It seems to me J. Edgar Hoover was nothing more than Thanos for exceptional Negroes. So why is he celebrated? Even as he intentionally infiltrated and sabotaged black civil rights groups, Hoover still received national honors like the State Department's Distinguished Service Award. Because here in America, we treat our black heroes like villains and our white villains like heroes. But it's a fact. But black people aren't the only ones who should be invested in erasing this man's ideology from the FBI. He was an equal opportunity bigot. He was an enthusiastic player in the Lavender Scare. And no, Lavender Scare is not a new diss track by Canadian dictator Aubrey Graham released during scary hours, okay? It was an actual purge of all government workers in the 1950s who identified as gay. And an agent did not have to come to work dressed like Lil Nas X at an award show to be considered suspect. According to Politico, Agent Charles Bolin was harassed and fired for, wait for it, licking his presumably dry lips. Yes. J. Edgar also wouldn't hire women as federal agents. That's right, the FBI was anti-women in the workplace way before ESPN made it cool, okay? Listen, I know it's a lot, right? I got so much to say about J. Edgar Hoover, but you know what I've been wondering this whole time I've been talking? What does Ja Rule think? No, seriously. What does Ja Rule think?
What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. Shakespeare once said, love all, trust a few, do wrong to none. Well, Shakespeare never crossed swords with J. Edgar Hoover and the FBI, now did he? So what resides in the name? What does it evoke in the soul upon its utterance? For those of the diaspora, anguish, anxiety, and angst, a triple alliteration of malarkey and murder. And if one can alter the name of that American football club from the District of Columbia for its offense to one group of persons, cannot the same be done for another, for a sister, for a brother? For I asked before, what's in a name? That's what Ja thinks.